My name is Idorenyin Toye-Arulogun. Everybody calls me ID. I am a wife, a mother, an author, and also a culture, culinary, and clothing enthusiast. And here is my good old days story. I was born in Uyo, in the then southeastern state of Nigeria, which later became Cross River State, out of which the present-day Akwa Ibom State was carved out from. My parents were educationists. Both were principals of schools at some time and were at various times on postings to different parts of the state. It was known as being posted to your station in those days. Sometimes, Dad and Mom were posted to different towns and the family came together on weekends. We attended a number of primary schools subject to where our parents were posted to, and eventually we settled in Uyo, where they took on higher responsibilities in their careers. Akwa Ibom has a very rich and robust food and clothing culture. Delicious and fresh food is cooked at homes and in restaurants. Story has it that people posted to work there, even youth coppers, usually delay their return to their respective abodes as they relish and enjoy the many delicacies that kept them coming for more. Growing up was interesting. Being born to an Ibibio father, Obong Asukwo Ekpe Udo, and a Yoruba mother, Mrs. Ayo Orebo Udo, it was interesting to see two cultures attempting to blend. Due to this, it was and has always been easy for me to understand discourses around the unity of Nigeria due to this fact of my parents coming from different parts of Nigeria. Uyo then was a little town with a roundabout in the middle of town, which was called Circus. 5 major roads emerged from the Circus, and every other street emerged from the 5. It was commonly joked that if you came into town and did not know the address of the person you came to see, simply stand at the Circus and be sure to see the person pass by in a bit. At that time, you knew your neighbors, both adults and young. At that time also, people's cars could be identified by others by their registration numbers. My favorite time of the year was Christmas. It was the time different dance troupes comprising of dancers, drummers, and other instrumentalists, and of course their supporters, came to entertain from house to house. Traditional dances and masquerades like Abang, Ekombi, Itembe, Ekpo, and Nabo would come out to perform. After their performances, they were usually rewarded in cash or kind by their hosts, and then they moved on to repeat the performance in another compound. It was also the time for loads of enjoyment and merriment with lots to eat and drink. One thing that I remember was commonplace was that people greeted one another a lot. It was expected that you greet your elders when you see them, unlike now that young people just walk past you. Greeting is just an attribute of good upbringing and training. There are many others. Should the young people be left to continue this way, with the excuse that these are different times, the modern age? Should we see other societal wrongs and look away to mind our businesses? I don't think so. In order to expect a better future, let us get involved in pointing the young ones in the right direction, so that they too can learn good lessons they can teach the generation after theirs, thereby giving hope for a brighter tomorrow. We can change the narrative. If you think moral standards were high in those days, we have a major role to play in bringing it back. All hope is not lost. Let us consciously, in our own little space, impact on the upcoming ones those values we so much cherished while growing up. Once we achieve a high degree of compliance, then we can be more certain about a better future. I support Sashimure Badejo in this drive towards changing the narrative of reference to the good old days, but rather pushing the story that a better and greater tomorrow is possible. Thank you.